What's up, world? This is your guy Guitar K, and today's video is simply called Do What You're Supposed to Do. Look, stop being part of the problem and start living in the solution. And the fastest way to do that is start following directions. Start doing what you're supposed to do. I don't know what it is that we don't like to follow directions, when in our heart of hearts we know that following directions is going to get us where we need to go faster than doing what we want to do, faster than leaning on our own understanding. Proverbs 14:12 says it all, man. There is a way that seems right to a man, but it ends in the way of death. Look, man, do what is required, man. Look, all this rebel without a cause mentality that we run around with is crazy at the end of the day. It's pointless. Listen to how that sounds. Without a cause. Without a cause? Come on, man. Without a cause or a purpose, what good are you? Where are you going? Like the proverb said, man, you're on a fast track to death. And it doesn't always have to be a literal death. You could be going to a financial death. You could be headed towards a spiritual death. It's so many deaths that you could be headed to when you just don't want to follow directions. We know what the old folks used to say, man. A hard head makes a soft ass. I'm tired of having a soft ass, man. I need to learn to follow directions today, man. I need to learn to do what's required. Back in the day, one of my biggest mistakes was wanting to hurry up and move out of my grandmother's house so I could do what I wanted to do, when the whole time doing what my grandmother was instructing me to do was leading to all my success. Doing what she was instructing me to do was keeping me on the right path. Soon as I left from up under her guidance, I immediately hopped onto the wrong path, man. Look, our natural inclination leads us to start doing what pleasurable looks like, what seems comfortable. Look, man, that's not the right way to go. We need to learn to follow directions. And a lot of times that seems uncomfortable. It seems unpleasurable. I don't care. It's what needs to be done. Look, what made me think about this is I was watching a video talking about one of my favorite cartoons back in the day, G.I. Joe. And he was talking about how it got canceled. And he was talking about one of the only mainstays from that cartoon is, you know, at the end, when they used to tell you something that was valuable about crossing the street, or don't talk to strangers, or, you know, don't mess around with electricity. And at the end of that, they would say, now you know. And knowing is half the battle. Go, Joe. Now, what I learned was that wasn't the writer's idea. The government made them put that in there. They had to put that in there. They was forced to. They followed directions. And that became the most memorable part of the show because it was the right thing to do. Like I said, man, sometimes when people give us instructions, man, it's the right thing to do. It's the best thing to do. Like I said, all that rebel without a cause stuff. Look, man, without a cause, man, without a sense of purpose and direction, who are you? Where are you going? Look, man, when you are a rule breaker and you like to go against the grain, you are a liability to you, to your family, to everyone around you. When you like to break the rules and you break the law, you cause a lot of chaos and confusion. You get snatched away from your family. You get snatched away from your kids. You go to jail. You go to rehab. You go to the grave. All because you're doing what you want to do and not what you're supposed to do. This is very important, man. It's very selfish to do what you want to do. It's very self-centered to do what you want to do. It's so prideful and ego-filled to always be doing what you want to do. We got to drop the pride, drop the ego, learn to take some instruction, learn to follow wisdom, learn to apply the wisdom and the knowledge of the people who done did it already. Our parents tell us all the time, look, I done did all this so you don't have to go through it. But we want to be so hard-headed, want to go against the grain, and we can do it as adults ourselves, man. We don't want to follow directions. We want to go our own way. But like that proverb said, man, a man going his own way often leads to death, man. Stop chasing death. Learn to follow directions. It's this one war movie. It's one of my favorite scenes. The captain has a map of the minefield. And the private says, well, sir, we're in enemy territory. How did you get a map of the minefield? And the captain says, it's very simple, private. A lot of people had to blow up. Think about that, man. A lot of people done sacrificed and done blew up going through the minefields of life, and they try to give us the blueprint, but no, we want to run out there like chickens with our heads cut off and get blown up before we want to listen. Some of us don't make it back. Some of us come back with arms blown off and legs blown off. But if we would have followed directions, we could go the way smoothly. We could go the right way the first time. Look, man, stop being foolish. The Bible says that a fool detests wisdom. All wisdom is somebody that know what they're talking about, that know the way, trying to give it to me, trying to give it to you. But we don't want to follow directions, man. Look, do what you're supposed to do, even when others don't. No, step up and do what needs to be done, even when others don't. We're not worrying about what other people are doing. It's about how am I doing? What am I going to do? I don't need for you to do what you're supposed to do, for me to do what I'm supposed to do. Look. So whoever knows the right thing to do and don't do it, for him not to do it is sin. That is James 4:14. It's sin for me to know what to do and not to do the right thing. And I know that taking the wisdom of somebody that's trying to tell me right is the right thing to do, but yet and still I could be so hard-headed. I could be so thick-headed and bald-headed that I don't want to follow directions. But like it says in James, to know the right thing to do and not do it is sin. And the wages of sin is death. See how those two scriptures come together? A man that goes his own way and thinks it's the right way often leads to death. And a man that knows the right thing to do but not do it is sin, and the wages of sin. Ooh-wee. Come on, man. Seek life, man. Seek wisdom, man. Stop leaning on your own understanding, man. Drop the pride, drop the ego. Learn to follow directions today. Do what you're supposed to do. Look, when you do what you're supposed to do, you are a valuable person. You are a rare person. You are a superhero. Superheroes do what they're supposed to do. They do what's required. They have integrity. It's not because nobody's looking. It's not because of validation or because of applause or none of that. You good for goodness sake. You're good because you're supposed to be good. You do right because you're supposed to do right, man. Step up, stand tall, be a man. I made a video today about why is the sky so tall? It's because God made it that way, because all of us are meant to stand tall. When you do what you're supposed to do, you out here standing tall, man. Look, the truth sounds crazy in a world full of lies. Look, and doing right makes you a target. I'm sorry. But we're going to have to take that target. We're going to have to sound crazy telling the truth. We're going to have to be a target doing right. Why? Because it's the right thing to do. Do what you're supposed to do. This is your guy, Guitar K. Be more